Over the years, people have
Welcome back to Texas, where Riley Herbst just came onto pit road after running the entire session down to the 4-minute mark and logging 37 laps, most of any drivers. Micah McDowell, Kyle Larson.
Getting some pretty good long runs here. That makes Larry happy, doesn't it, boy? Larry likes them long runs, likes him a good tire sheet.
You got to have a good tire sheet, Clint. And from a driver's perspective, you want to be comfortable too.
Turn 2, car in the wall.
Bubba Wallace. That's the one.
Tires all look up.
He was by himself and right in the middle of 1 and 2. The car just started a lazy spin. Although nothing's lazy at 180 plus.
Put together here for tomorrow.
You're going to see right here, I mean, he's got a wide entry, but see him up the racetrack just a little bit in the back, so he's going to step out right there.
I think the tell-all sign, Kevin, is him being up the racetrack. He was loose in, and it never got any better.
And it's just so edgy right in this part of the corner on this end of the racetrack, and the way that these cars drive, when they step out, there's just no saving it.
All right, here's Bubba's radio.
Trying to downshift. Keep the gas in it. Died on me halfway up the hill.
Oh, and yeah, so he's not talking about the downshift causing the wreck. What he's talking about is he tried to downshift to spin the tires, and then it died.
To keep it off the wall.
You'll floor the thing to try to spin the wheels forward to break the momentum up the hill, but you hear the engine stop right there, and that strategy was over.
Bubba Wallace got off to a great start in the season, the first 5 races, but has had trouble finding success here in the most recent ones.
Yeah, and you know, really sat up there in the top 2 in the points, and as we've gone through the season here, he sits 12th in the points right now, and tough situation to deal with to get through this weekend as well.
I was surprised on our conference call to hear from the stat boys that in the Gen 7 car, this track averages 14 caution flags per race, and you just saw one reason why. Just single car incidents without contact.
It's just so easy to spin these cars around because they're just so much on edge through turns 1 and 2 in order to make them turn. And the way that you have to run them to get through turns 3 and 4 and not bottom out, it just gets that car a little higher and out of the racetrack.
Well, let's have a look at points, as this will probably put an end to Group 1 practice here. 16 cars will make the chase.
You see Bubba Wallace march right to second and match his teammate at the top of the sheet.
And then that 23 starts a downward spiral there.
Boom.
Yep.
Been a struggle pretty much since Darlington.
All right, about 4 cars are going to go out to make a final lap here, as then time will expire. Clock kept running during that incident.
Might want to go out and practice pit road entrance.
That's right. Yeah, and I think that's, you know, unless you're dragging the ground or something, you know, in order to make another lap and just make sure that is okay. So they added a little bit of time, so a little over a minute left. So you can get a couple laps in if you needed to work on your car, but a lot of these guys were probably running it right up until the end to make sure that they knew exactly how to get on pit road.
Well, and a cycle on your tires certainly doesn't hurt anything. You might be in a situation in the race where that very thing could happen. We have to stay out and make a gamble here on some strategy. You never know what it's going to take to win this race. And you said averaging 14 cautions, anything can happen on a track like Texas.
Brad Keselowski's run 19 laps. Only 2 drivers have run less. Ty Gibbs 25 laps. That's right about in the middle of everybody in Group 1. So they put 2 minutes on the clock to account for the downtime after Bubba Wallace's crash in turn number 2. Connor Zilic there, 9th on the board.
Yeah, showed a little bit of speed, you know, to start this practice in this group of cars. Fairly good group of cars. Ran a lot of laps there. 5th on the 20
definitely
lap
better.
average. Yeah, I mean, definitely better. And he was on the racetrack yesterday in the O'Reilly Series cars, so he's got some track time here in previous cars.
Excuse me. It's his first time on track here. He has never raced here, we're told.
That tells me he's been in the sim a lot, because this is a challenging racetrack. Obviously had the race, as you said, that he was in.
Yeah, and you know, I think when you look at this racetrack as a 1.5 mile racetrack, this is a tough one to understand just how edgy the car is, and you see from Bubba Wallace's accident, it can get out from underneath you in a snap of a finger, and you not even know why. And you know, sometimes the wind is blowing over there, sometimes your car just gets loose as the run. That's why it's so important to see where that long run is going to go, because getting the car to be tight enough is okay. It's better than being too loose and spinning the car out and wrecking it.
But to your point, I think that's a really good reminder of how challenging these race cars are. I think we get lackadaisical in thinking these things are just stuck and you know, make all this grip and downforce and is easy to drive. You just had a quick reminder there with Bubba Wallace how hard and how on edge they are.
And that should put an end to this practice session. Here's Regan.
Well, Mike, the hottest driver in NASCAR right now, Carson Hocevar, of course, the win 1 week ago at Talladega, the win last night. You're pretty much winning everything. Come to a track where you had a pole last year. We know you know how to go fast around here, but we just got a reminder about how treacherous this place can be in practice. What does that do as you get ready to go out for Group 2?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, you know, Michael put up a good lap there, and you know, we're similar setups, I think. So hopefully that's just a good sign of what's to come when I get in this 77 car. Yeah, I'd like to go stand over there today and win the pole and start up front. It'll be the first time ever that we roll out last in our Cup Series career between myself and Spires. So, yeah, I mean, the little victories when you win stuff like this, all new to us. So hopefully we take advantage of it, get ourselves a good starting spot. We know what that number 1 pit stall was like last year. We'd like to get it again and start up front. Track position's important here. But yeah, confidence never been higher. So hopefully we just keep that rolling.
All right, good luck in practice and qualifying. Thanks.
Well, his unique victory celebration from Talladega doesn't have a name, but he got a chance to do it again last night in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series as he beat Kyle Busch to the line to score a win on a track where he got his first Cup win a couple of years ago.
This is Arby's quarter-pound pulled pork and chopped brisket. Both are smoked slow for up to 13 hours. Tender, juicy barbecue like this isn't magic, although there is a lot of smoke involved. Poof!
Arby's, we have the meats. Nothing stops Ram. That means we deliver knockouts. Boom. We don't just ride the bull.
We are the bull.
Welcome to the jungle. We're Hemi D8s, Hurricanes, and Hellcats. And we're backing them with America's best powertrain limited warranty. We're UFC fighting, donut making, NASCAR winning Ram.
Purchase and get 2.9% financing for 72 months, plus $3,500 bonus cash allowance on most 2026 Ram 1500 Crew Cab models.
You've fought against the odds in every inch of every race with endless determination and grit. All of your hard work and dedication have brought you to where you are today. Keep moving forward. Talk to your doctor about Brestree, 3 medicines in 1 inhaler. Learn more at brestree.com.
Since 1966, Camping World has been America's RV dealer, selling over 1 million RVs. RVs that are built right here in America to see America. And Camping World has the most affordable RVs available, giving you the freedom to explore our great country. With travel trailers starting at just $76 a month, fifth wheels starting at $227, and motorhomes starting at $563. Camping World has the best RV prices and the best RV brands in America. Pursue your American dream at Camping World.
At Texas A&M University, we believe everything is possible.
Literally everything.
While some strive to be the best in the world, Texas A&M stands to be the best for the world. When we stand together, we are a powerful force, a force for good.
Do parents cover kids' eyes to protect them?
Uh-oh, that's a scary part.
Or to secretly steal their Reese's?
It doesn't sound scary.
Super scary.
Perhaps moms know everything happens for a Reese's.
This is NASCAR on Prime.
Sunday NASCAR 24th, NASCAR on Prime returns, kicking things off with the Coca-Cola 600. Then moving on to Nashville, Michigan, Pocono, and the new street course in San Diego. NASCAR Cup Series on Prime. Larry Mack.
Yeah, Mike, I'm here with Corey Heim, 3rd quickest and the fastest Toyota. You've raced here in the trucks, but this is your first Cup start. How about 30 laps of practice in the Gen 7?
Yeah, it's definitely a little different than what I'm used to. I'm kind of used to an easy wide open 3 and 4 and not having to kind of worry about the bumps and the rub block contact and whatnot. So a little bit of a change of pace for me, but we were just talking about how I feel like the car is a little better than me right now. Just trying to warm up to it, but I was looking over some SMT and it looked like everything lined up relatively well. So I think the car is great. I really had very little to no complaints about it. So just thankful for everyone at 2311 Racing. This Robin Camry's been great so far. Just had a little bit of a disadvantage going out first in qualifying, of course, but hopefully we can battle through and be there when it counts.
Well, Mike, what impresses me about Corey, he runs a limited schedule, but when he races, he runs all the laps, and he's still there at the end.
I like what he said there, Larry. I think the car is better than me right now. Few young drivers have that kind of, I'd say, mature outlook. Good for him. All right, Group 2 coming up shortly.
The future of weight loss is here with Wegovy and Hims. Lose up to 20% of your body weight, starting at just $149 a month. For the first time ever, get the FDA-approved Wegovy pill or pen through Hims. No insurance needed. If prescribed, Hims connects you to a licensed provider to develop a personalized plan. Plus, ongoing support from your care team. This is the new era of weight loss with Wegovy and Hims. Start today at hims.com.
Try new Little Caesars 4-in-1 sticks with 16 deliciously shareable sticks. There are 16 reasons to try. Reason 1, they're perfect for sharing. Reason 2 through 16, just look at all these toppings. They're making me hungry. Share new Little Caesars 4-in-1 sticks for only $7.99.
Pizza, pizza. We know why you've put off your best smile. The time, the cost, the anxiety.
That's why Aspen Dental is changing how dentistry is done, with technology to make care comfortable and flexible hours to fit your life, all at an affordable price. New patients without insurance get an exam and x-rays for just $29. Not waiting for tomorrow. That's the Aspen Dental difference. Aspen Dental. It's time to smile again.
Christopher David Bell. He's 4 years old. Now, what have you started?
Bell has driven to victory! That check is for $1 million!
When every mile matters, where will your journey take you?
What makes an experience an experience? When race days become race weekends, and race weekends become full throttle memories.
To the checker, baby! Yeah, let's go!
So pull up in your camper, pick your favorite spot, first race or 50th season.
You did just win again. Oh,
a community that lives loud, loves hard, and celebrates every damn second.
Hell yeah, boys!
Go camping, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Does a rash spreading faster than these two got bored with the great outdoors sound like fun? Lucky Amazon Health AI is on your side. You can upload a few pics from wherever you are, and it helps you, which is good. 'Cause Lewis and Clark over there sure aren't gonna.
Dad, I gotta pee.
Later today, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series will take to the track with racing starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on the CW. And on Sunday, the Cup Series action starts at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1.
In Group 1, the top 10 had 5 Toyotas, 4 Chevys, and 1 Ford. What'll happen with Group number 2 practice, which will get underway just as soon as we come back.
Jack Links presents something new.
What? Expecting someone else?
New Jack Links thinly sliced steak, made with 3 simple ingredients.
Opening day, just like we used to. I love being out here with Sam again, especially at the big game. It's why I wanted more for my symptomatic obstructive HCM. So I asked my cardiologist about Camzyos. With Camzyos, my symptoms have improved, and I can be more active. It's a difference I can feel, and he can see.
Camzyos is proven to reduce obstruction in the heart 4 times more. Camzyos may cause serious side effects, including heart failure that can lead to death, a risk that's increased with serious infection, irregular heartbeat, or with certain other medicines. Do not stop, start, or change medicines or dose without telling your doctor. You must have echocardiograms before and during treatment. Seek help for new or worsening heart failure symptoms. Camzyos is only available through a restricted program. Before taking Camzyos, tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and current or planned pregnancy, as Camzyos may harm your unborn baby. Camzyos, first in its class to treat symptomatic OHCM.
It's great to be back.
Ask your cardiologist about Camzyos.
Whether you're a professional technician or simply take pride in maintaining your own cars, Harbor Freight offers quality auto tools to meet your every need at prices that can't be beat. From rapid pump jacks to mechanics tool sets, whatever you need, we've got it. Whatever you do it for less. Harbor Freight, your automotive destination.
At Burger King, celebrities don't rule the menu. You do.
So tell us, what do you want?
I want a peppercorn BLT Whopper.
It's stacked with bacon, Swiss, and peppercorn aioli. Try the latest in the Whopper by You series today.
Where do old school buses go?
What do we got there,
well,
Mike?
That's a Bluebird. They're the bus company, and that's bus style, with the engine in the back underneath the floor. And Looks like it's now been a double-decker and a couple of big AC units hanging off the back. I'd say that's a party bus, Clint.
If you look at it, it almost looks like the top half is going the wrong direction.
I guess it does.
I think we've modified the old Roxanne rocket.
It's about as aerodynamic as a cinder block. Regan.
Well, Mike, not the place we ever want to talk to a driver down here at the Care Center. Bubba Wallace checked and released, and Bubba, 21 laps into that practice, 5th quick on the board. Looked like it was really fast for your 23 car. Any warning as to what took place over there?
No, just sitting here talking to you off camera. This is Texas. It's treacherous, and I was wondering if I got too high, and looks like I had a decent arc and felt a little loose, but then it just came around so fast. So unfortunate. Our guys have had a really long week getting this Chumba Casino Camry ready, and now I just gave them even longer day to day. So unfortunate, but we fine. Got the best group in the garage, and work hard tonight and put on a show tomorrow, like you said.
That's what we like. Put on a show, definitely. Thanks, Bubba.
So Bubba Wallace with crash damage and Austin Dillon with an engine change will end up out back. Here are the drivers in Group 2, based mostly off last week's finish at Talladega, according to the NASCAR metric.
This has typically been where all, our front runners, if you will, are in this group. But having Talladega changes that up. I like it.
It has a much different look to it. And I'm like you. I'm still a fan of the random draw. I still think we should go back to the random draw for qualifying and get rid of all this.
Why?
Metric
because
stuff.
It shakes it up.
Right here. It shakes everything up. You have to overcome things. Sometimes you get a good draw, bad draw. And that's how it is throughout the short track ranks. So
fair? No. But
what's unfair
now
about
that we're not drivers anymore and we're calling races, I'm telling you, that's the right move. They need to shake this thing up. It shakes not only practice sessions up and makes these teams work together as they're in one group or the other, qualifying, your timing of all of that. It really shakes the start of these races up. The cream will rise to the top over the course of the run or the race, but I like the idea of shaking things up for qualifying.
I like the unpredictability.
Yes.
As we see Carson Hocevar, that's probably the word we used at the end of Talladega was unpredictability. What a fun afternoon that became. Nearly 5 million people watched him win Talladega and have a very unique victory celebration.
You could feel it coming. Big win for him. Did a great job holding these guys off at the end of the race. Everything kind of fell apart behind him and left him out there to set sail. And then unpredictability, Mike. We didn't know what he was going to do with this celebration, and I don't think he did either. He pieced it together quite well, though. What a fun celebration that was.
He had a plan, and the fans, especially at Talladega, just loved it.
When he hit that wall, boy, I thought it was going to spit him right out on the racetrack.
And we theorized on the air that there'd be a new rule, and no, they went in the media center, and they said, well, what about it, Steve O'Donnell, NASCAR's new CEO? He says, I loved it.
Yeah, he loved it, everything but the running into the wall piece, just from, but, look, everybody, and you talk about,
We'll talk about this. This is what I talked about last week during the race. During a race at Richmond, that is Dale Earnhardt. His windshield was muddy. He didn't want to give up track position to come in and get it clean, so he took matters into his own hands during the race under a caution flag.
Well, make no mistake about it. There's only one Dale Earnhardt. Right. And I appreciate Hocevar in doing this for a celebration, but there's no way you could pull that off in today's day and age and get back in, get your belts on, and go back after it.
Well,
only a Dale Earnhardt
You couldn't get the window up in today's world, but I actually talked to Carson yesterday, and it had nothing to do with Dale Earnhardt. It looks the same.
Yeah.
But it actually goes back to when he was a kid. And this kid, and you'll hear this on our pre-race tomorrow, I still call him a kid because he is a kid. And to me, I'm old. So he said, look, when I was a kid, I was a race fan. I loved everything that goes on in the sport. And when I would see a driver and get out of the car and not celebrate, not enjoy the moment, and not, be a part of the celebration with the fans. He's like, I was disappointed as a kid because it just didn't feel like it meant something to him. He's like, I never want to give that impression because I love everything that I do. I love the moment. I've worked my whole life to get here, and if I'm not enjoying it, I'm going to go do something different. So his thing was he wanted to be a part of the celebration with the fans, and every time he would point, he would see somebody in his T-shirt and wanted them to know, I see you, I'm here for you, and so every time he would point, it would be somebody that was wearing his T-shirt. So very, very much thought about celebration.
Well,
but it was all about the fans.
We've gotten ourselves in this sport, in my opinion, of kind of a mold, if you will, of how a driver's supposed to act, how to look, how to be. And he is a great representation of being yourself. Be true to who you are. Go have fun and show me what you have on the racetrack, but show me what you're made of out of the racetrack. And I think last week's big win for him was a great display of just being unique and being yourself.
And I can't wait for everybody to hear that conversation, because he says a lot of things just like that, and says if he can't do it his way, he's going to go find something else to do.
Well, I hope not, as we see Tyler Reddick and now Christopher Bell, both of whom should be threats for the pole here.
Let's talk about Christopher Bell. The strength of the Toyotas this season has been just lights out each and every weekend, Kevin. We know that. And we know the talent behind the wheel of this 20 car that Christopher Bell is. Haven't really seen the fire out of him that we're accustomed to seeing. I think that can change this weekend. This track has a Christopher Bell type of feel and the vibe, and I think you better keep your eye on this 20.
And they would tell you, if you ask Christopher Bell, he'd say, hey guys, don't forget I came off of turn 2 at Kansas racing for the win.
That's right.
And I got wrecked.
Right.
A lot of that is circumstances and everything that happened, but you see the result of the average finish and the laps led, and those stats would tell you that there's more to it.
No, they're better than that.
Yeah, I agree.
Just have to get to the finish line. Here's a little Denny Hamlin radio.
You're getting into one pretty deep compared to everybody else. Backing up may help. Yeah, no on that out. Copy.
Well, another weekend, another strong result out of this 11 car. Obviously had a no kidding moment there on the radio, but my point is Group 2, Denny Hamlin the fastest of this group.
And you see Denny Hamlin the fastest of this group in 7th place. You've been here a lot, Clint. You know that on a day like this when the sun is beating down on this racetrack, every minute of the day the track starts to get greasier and lose grip compared to the first time that you go out, and that's what you're seeing right here for Group 2.
So what you're saying is pretty impressive that he's even stacking up against either group as high as he is. Tells you a lot about the speed in that car.
Well, let's expand on that, because it's going to be in the low 70s today. It's going to be 80 degrees here tomorrow.
That's good news for us.
That's right.
Why?
Because those cars are going to be slipping, sliding around. They're going to be harder to handle by themselves.
All right.
And then you start getting in a pack and dirty air and things like that. Oh, dirty air.
Hang on.
Ryan Blaney looking on. We are 17 minutes to go in Group 2 practice.
Welcome to Texas.
Till the room comes up, till the lights go out, till my legs give out, can't shut my mouth. Till the room comes up, till the lights go out.
A legacy is a beautiful thing, but only if it survives.
I'm a rip till my bone left.
Introducing Subway's new Fresh Value Menu. 15 protein-packed choices all for under $5, including Subway's new Deli Faves, 6-inch subs with big flavor, like the spicy pepperoni, ham and salami, cold cut combo, and BLT for $3.99. Protein pockets for $3.99. And a 6-inch sub of the day every day of the week, only $4.99. 15 choices under $5 each, every single day. Subway, always fresh, always prepared right in front of you.
Over the years, people have called him superhuman.
But I'm not. Like nearly 24 million adults, I struggle with moderate obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA. Got those breathing interruptions during sleep? The loud snoring, choking, and daytime fatigue? It could be OSA. Talk to your doctor, because there's nothing superhuman about ignoring OSA symptoms.
At Napa, we know how to keep undercar under control. That's why our solutions are driven by 3 steps: stop, go, grow. Stop safety issues by checking systems before they become bigger problems. Go further with quality repairs that prevent costly comebacks. Then grow your business behind the parts, people, and expertise that keep your shop moving at full speed. That's Napa Know-How.
It starts with Celsius. Fuel I can feel good about. I'm gonna need it. I'm training for life. From after-school pickups to meal prep to a 12-hour night shift. I don't have time to get ready. I've got to stay ready.
Dawn Patrol starts with a Celsius. I got a whole day to seize. First it's cardio, then it's a race against the clock. Refuel. I've got 48 to do in 24.
It's 4:49 a.m. Grab a Celsius, lock in. I've got a goal to hit and a deck to conquer. A party to be the life of and all the essential energy I need to do it.
After the rejoin. Welcome back to NASCAR on Prime from Texas Motor Speedway. 14 to go in Group 2 practice. Happy birthday, Kyle Busch, turns 41 today.
Gosh, that seems weird.
It just makes me want to throw up because I think back to Kyle Busch not being able to race because he wasn't 18 in the Truck Series, and raced against Kyle for a long time, competed head to head with Kyle, had many wars with Kyle Busch, but it was really one of the best times of my career because we competed from an owner standpoint in trucks. We competed on the racetrack in cup cars, crashed each other, yelled at each other, but man, was it fun. And now he's 41. But
now last night, he was 5th in the truck race with 1 lap to go. He was in a Spire truck, same as Hocevar. The 3 guys racing for second got together. He finishes second. And he has a new crew chief, Andy Street. Longtime RCR guy with a little time at Hendrick as well, taking over for Jim Pullman. They had a team meeting this week. Kyle said, I am all in. I am all in with whatever we need to do to get this number 8 car back where it needs to be.
But I think also all in goes to Richard Childress. I talked to him earlier this week, and Mike Dillon that we just saw and talked about earlier. They're willing to make changes, and we can't wait. We know that time is of the essence. We have to get this car running better. The driver, I don't care what we've talked about on podcasts or whatever else, I could care less. That driver behind the wheel of this car is still capable of getting the job done. His natural ability behind the steering wheel of a race car is second to none. He's champions. He's won so many races in any kind of vehicle you've ever put him in. You get this kid. Can we call him a kid anymore? He just said
he's 41.
You get this guy the equipment to win races, and that's exactly what he'll do.
And I think that the big thing about this is they're not going to fix it without Kyle Busch being all in. And that process, the great drivers like Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, when you have cars that are off, it takes the driver input and communication and being the leader with your engineers and group to fix it. So we're going to see if Kyle Busch has that in him.
Well, this would be a good place for it to happen. He has 20 wins at this racetrack. 4 in Cup, 20 total wins. Cup, O'Reilly, and Truck. Wow. Larry Mack?
Yeah, Mike, before commercial break, you were talking about how it's supposed to be warmer tomorrow. Right now, it's about 69 or 70 degrees ambient. And to your point, 8, 9, 10 degrees warmer. Now, most of my years as a crew chief, Kevin, Clint, Regan, when they were driving, conventional wisdom was it gets hotter, the car gets looser. I talked to a lot of crew chiefs yesterday. To Clint's point, yeah, it's going to lose overall grip when it gets hotter, but the crew chiefs feel like here at Texas with this Gen 7 car that the front's going to lose more grip than the rear, which means the car is going to push or not turn even worse.
Which could fall right in the wheelhouse of these Chevrolets. We talk about them having too much front downforce and struggling with the balance of their race cars. And I agree with Larry, driving this race car here, that is 100% the case. And in order to keep that car turning, then you have to try to get the back and everything freed up. And you see what happened to Bubba Wallace when the back steps out from underneath you. So it is a tough place to get the balance right, but agree 100% on the front end getting worse first.
And what you were saying is holding true. Boy, we about got in the fence right there. But Chase Elliott, the best in this group, the second group that goes out, I still think the advantage goes to the Toyotas. We've seen it week in and week out this year, and you look at the top of the board, and best consecutive 20 laps is Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, but I will say this, Clinton. When you look at the top of the board overall today, we haven't seen that speed out of William Byron yet this year. And when you start to see those glimpses of speed, it is a good sign.
Red flag is out for that piece of debris.
Whoa.
They'll get it cleaned up, and we'll be back.
Bigger than debris.
Yeah, Texas size.
When everything on the IHOP value menu is just $6, you can go all out. Because eggs, bacon, and fluffy pancakes are just $6 every day. And OMG, there's a new BLT. And it comes with fries. Celebrate every day for just $6 with the IHOP value menu.
Nothing stops Ram. That means we deliver knockouts. Boom. We don't just ride the bull.
We are the bull.
Welcome to the jungle. We're Hemi D8s, Hurricanes, and Hellcats. And we're backing them with America's best powertrain limited warranty. We're UFC fighting, donut making, NASCAR winning Ram.
Purchase and get 2.9% financing for 72 months, plus $3,500 bonus cash allowance on most 2026 Ram 1500 Crew Cab models.
For the big, small, short, tall. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
The future of weight loss is here with Wegovy and Hims. Lose up to 20% of your body weight, starting at just $149 a month. For the first time ever, get the FDA-approved Wegovy pill or pen through Hims. No insurance needed. If prescribed, Hims connects you to a licensed provider to develop a personalized plan. Plus, ongoing support from your care team. This is the new era of weight loss with Wegovy and Hims. Start today at hims.com.
When the All-Stars come to town, you don't stay home. On May 15th through 17th, you gather the crew, you pack the cooler, you make it a monster weekend. Tailgates, free fan zone fun, and the NASCAR All-Star Race at Dover Motor Speedway. This is the weekend everyone talks about. Get your tickets today at dovermotorspeedway.com or call 800-441-RACE.
Hold on a second. I got something.
Ain't that the truth?
You can't actually be surprised.
This is amazing.
So dope.
Now you know that ain't no figure of speech, right?
You may be right.
I'm always bloody wrong.
No, that's my number 3 Billy Joel song.
Oh, knock it off.
Tomorrow on FS1 NASCAR Race Day, 2 p.m. Eastern, Carson Hocevar sits down with Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, a feature on one of his young super fans, and then the Worth 400 presented by Liqui-Moly. The Cup race is 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. Texas Motor Speedway, hopeful for its 10th different winner in a row, 9 straight. Joey Logano, last year's winner. All right, have a look right where that circle is beautifully drawn on the right side of the screen, and you'll see a big piece of styrofoam that sits just above the safer barrier and forms the Speedway Motorsports logo. Come detached. It's just styrofoam, folks.
Yeah, and when whoever's watching that part of the racetrack or those cameras, I would definitely be sitting them down after this to make sure the caution should have come out right there. Did not. Got to clean that up.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know how you missed that. It's pretty big piece of debris.
Yeah, the only way you miss that is not paying attention.
8 minutes to go. Ryan Preece, 24th overall, and I believe 12th in this group, in Group 1.
Man.
Hanging on to a spot in the chase where he's been just about all season. And on the lead lap all year, there are the only 2 drivers with lead lap finishes in every race this season.
And that's fantastic. I mean, that's right there in line with the guy that's been the dominant figure in NASCAR, Tyler Reddick. RFK, they've done a great job. You talk about the blue ovals and the Fords. RFK is leading the charge, and I wouldn't have told you that was possible or could be possible against the giant of champions and everything you see at Penske, but they have week in and week out been more consistent in getting the job done, especially in the points category, and finishing these races and getting the most out of what they have for every race.
Well, they've got all 3 cars in a chase position, and that's the unique part about this point system and the things that you can do with consistency and grinding away at fixing your problems and getting solid finishes for the day puts you in a position to keep yourself in a spot to compete for the championship. And in my opinion, that's what these guys are really good at. When you look at Chris Buescher and Ryan Preece and Brad Keselowski, they're good at grinding away and getting the most out of their day. And obviously, they want their cars to be faster and have more speed to be capable of winning races on a week-to-week basis, but they're getting the most out of it, just like this guy has, Daniel Suarez.
Daniel is 10th on the board, 3rd in Group 2 practice behind Hamlin and Cindric.
New broom always sweeps better. This new opportunity for him, he is doing a great job.
He got banged up in the big one last week. They brought that car in the pits several times and made enough repairs for him to not just get back on track, but finish 12th. Well done.
And that's what you have to do to be able to make those repairs. And, this track for him, he's got top 10s in the last 3 races here. So
Inspire.
Yeah. Good. Well, I mean,
all the way across the board.
Yeah, for him, he's got looks like a better race car for his situation to be able to continue those results with the results that he's had in the past.
Alex Bowman, 33rd on the board there after 13 laps.
Thought for a minute last week we were going to see him in victory lane. That'd have been a huge rebound. Obviously, good to see him back in the race car, and I think he's getting his feet back underneath of him, getting comfortable in this race car, and starting to see this 48 back at the front of the field like it's supposed to be.
Yeah, this place will remind you that you haven't consistently been in the race car. Just with the speed and everything that goes with it, the edginess. But I agree with you. Getting a good finish last week at Talladega, that goes a long ways on the confidence train, and not hitting anything. That's the most important thing last week. So a lot of big hits, a lot of wrecks, a lot of torn up race cars, and hopefully something that this 48 car can build on.
Now Chris Buescher, 5th on the speed chart, had a great run at Talladega, had another one of those so close finishes. And I thought when we restarted with 2 laps to go, I think, well, I don't know. You got Ricky Stenhouse right behind you. Is there any way a Chevrolet is going to push forward to this win? But Stenhouse stayed right there, did his job, and then in the middle of the trial, Buescher went high. They separated, and that may have been the difference, but it wasn't for lack of trying.
Well, we know, in the closing laps, and the last lap in particular at Talladega, it's every man for himself, and you have to have a dancing partner up there. What are you seeing, Kevin?
Well, you're going to hear him downshift if he does it again this lap in turns 1 and 2.
Come on, there it is.
15 to the 77. We're good. He knows.
Second on the sheet, best consecutive 20 laps. Just goes right back in line with what we were talking about with his teammate and everything we've seen with RFK. Just ultra consistent, make good grip on a long run. Whoa, coming on, obviously practicing pit road entry, but a lot of rear brake there. That'll get your attention.
Long way around the corner here. The entry to pit road at Texas Motor Speedway. A lot of penalties here.
Yeah, I see a lot of
over the years. A lot of mistakes being able to be made. Almost one made right there. He was hanging on to it. 11 speeding penalties last year.
So. Lots to be gained and lost coming on the pit road, and that's why they all practicing, whether it was the first group or second group.
Yeah, and the other piece that we don't talk about a lot, you're going to see it right here. The apron right there in 1 and 2. Really, really narrow, completely flat. Really hard to get the rear tires to lock up. You see Suarez, oh boy, not a good place to be sitting. Caution needs to come out for that one.
And there it is.
Yellow's out now. NASCAR, you're seating donuts or what?
Yeah, you hear Daniel not happy with the fact that he's been sitting on the apron around that corner right there. So a couple times the caution really slow to come out.
We're up pretty high here, and it's pretty much a camera. I wouldn't even think the spotters on the roof could see him as close as he is to that inside wall. And you saw somebody come around them practicing in at speed, like you were just talking about, coming in and out of pit road. That exit's just as important.
Yeah, I wouldn't be thrilled about that.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it.
So you can see that's a roof cam, and you can barely see the top of his race car. And
we have the jack system on this.
There's a gap there with no motorhome, but if there was motorhomes there, you wouldn't be able to see him at all. Again, that is the roof camera, so that's spotter view.
And that's down the inside of turn number 2. Larry?
Yeah, Mike, he has a flat tire, and they are begging right now to let NASCAR let them put a tire on. My question would be, and I'll find out, remember, this is a 1.5 mile track. That lift system, like mandatory to Speedway, it's not mandatory here. I see some cars that have it, some cars that don't, because he's saying if they drag it in, it's going to drag all the skirts off.
Well, it's going to drag that diffuser off, and that's where all the magic is made underneath this race car. You do not want to mess that up. They're going to actually tow it. They're going to hook to that rear of the car and tow that thing back. Have to be careful not to drag the front off either.
Yeah, anytime the floor drags or it hits the rub blocks or anything, that's why Suarez stopped, because it completely disrupts the aerodynamics on the bottom of the car when it's not right.
So the team has asked if they can bring a tire out and change it there, and NASCAR Race Control has said no. That's not an approved procedure, and there's no lift system on that car.
And all right, sitting at home, how can it possibly make that much difference?
Whoa.
Do you remember talking to a guy that was
from there?
maybe one of your crew chiefs once, and he told us 200 or 300 pounds of downforce change underneath the car with the thickness of your fingernail, folks. The thickness of your fingernail can change the underneath downforce of these race cars 200 to 300 pounds. That's the difference between last place and first place.
He's going to drive it in, rather than risk damage from picking it up and dragging it.
And I think the team is trying to decide what's the least destructive right here.
Ryan, I don't know.
And they're sending the wrecker off.
We pushed. It looks like they're turning the truck around right now.
Now that truck behind can't do it. It's got a regular bumper. You need a push bumper.
He's going to back
up,
up,
down and line up.
That's probably the path of least resistance. Back up and
go the shortest distance.
That's right.
Well, they got to turn that wrecker around to do that, because he's, well,
no, he's going to back up.
And I'm glad they're letting him do this.
Go around the track like he's doing instead of a shorter distance.
Instead of, I hate that they're having to do what they're doing right now. It'd be better to just put a tire on it. I hate they won't let him do that, but it'd
take less time, wouldn't it, Kevin?
Yeah.
Bring a tire to him, put it on. But I agree. Hey, it's not our fault that you had flat tires. I don't know what you were doing. Maybe you did run over something, but it could potentially be what we were alluding to earlier with running low air pressure and some of the things we've seen here in the past.
Yeah, but I think understanding how hard it is to get these cars right and pass inspection, and the disadvantage you could put them at if you drag that floorboard off also needs to be taken into consideration. But Daniel backing up and getting into pit road. Regan?
Well, while we got this time and a little bit of break in the action, William Byron, the quickest driver here at Texas so far today, 34 laps. Seems like that 24 maybe flexed a little muscle in that practice. Did it feel as good as it looks?
Yes. Yeah, no, it felt good. Appreciate our guys just working really hard back at the shop and Concord and everybody, all their efforts. Definitely been looking for, just try to get the balance on this car. So, Valvoline and Chevy, so far so good. It was always a little sketchy out there. Texas is always just kind of that way. It just always feels like you're on the edge. So, so far so good. Just stinks we got to go out early in qualifying, so hopefully we can just have a decent lap there and have a decent starting spot for tomorrow. But it's good to be here.
Keep hearing that word sketchy, right? We've heard that all day long throughout this practice session. Now you're going to have to go out there and try and go faster in qualifying than what you went in practice. How do you equate that out when you know that this place can bite you real easy?
Yeah, it's just, when you got new tires and the way these cars are set up, like, you got to trust that it's going to be there. So, you just got to recalibrate your brain for that speed and just make sure that you don't underdrive the car, because obviously you don't want to be over the limit, make a mistake, but you got to make sure that you're kind of pushing the limits. So, hopefully we can do that and see what happens here.
All right, guys, it's been a busy week for William, too. His William Byron Foundation raised $221,000 for charity on Monday.
Yeah, great event. William Byron fastest in practice, so Daniel Suarez has made it back around to the pit road, turned around, and will drive it in. Now, see Chris Buescher making a few marks there.
Yeah, they mark your steering wheel to make sure you get it on in the same spot for the rest of the weekend and not have to stop. We're going to watch him come to pit road right here. We were commenting how sketchy it was. Woo, man, that one left black marks.
Look at the focus in the eyes. I like when they run clear shields. A lot going on right there.
Yeah.
Short amount of time.
And it just looked like a casual save, you know, from his reaction.
As he was downshifting.
So NASCAR, as they did in Group 1, has put some time back on the clock for Group 2. Christopher Bell and a few others going out. 45 seconds will give them a chance to get up to speed and run a lap. And now we're told 2 minutes.
You ever been to Andy's frozen custard, Kevin?
I have not.
Change your life. Change your life.
Now they've done something cool here this weekend. In addition to sponsoring the Saturday race, they have a car in each race, Saturday and Sunday, and they are painted identically. So all weekend long, you're going to be looking at Andy's and wondering where's the closest one, and I think it's in Keller, about 8 miles away.
Started right over there in the Ozarks, Springfield area. There's one a Lake of the Ozarks. I'd take the family there. The kids love it. Look at that. One in the ends. Well, let's go. I'll take you to the infield and get you a frozen custard.
Yeah, there's the closest Andy's. It's about 500 feet from us in the center of the infield. I think we can make that before qualifying and get back. What do you think?
I'm going to change Kevin's life today.
All right.
I'll be waiting.
Get him a boot daddy.
You're
That's
going
really
with
good.
me. I'm not bringing it to you. This isn't a delivery service.
Oh, I thought you were going to be.
This is an experience.
I thought you were going to be delivery guy.
You probably are a door dasher.
Zane Smith with Speedy Cash there. They sponsored the truck race here last night. And we're back on board Christopher Bell, who's running his 35th lap of the day.
See him up the racetrack right there through turns 1 and 2. That's a good sign already.
And it's a good opportunity to try it. You're in the wake of that car in front of you. I can't tell who that is, but the reason he did that is to get up there and try something on the racetrack. It's a different area.
That was Austin
Cindric practicing coming on to pit road. We're going to run one more lap.
I was going to say, they're not going to be happy about him running one more lap.
You're not supposed to do this.
No.
Trying that outside again here.
Well, 2 minutes goes by fast, especially when you're thinking about frozen custard.
Yeah.
Well, he wanted to practice coming on pit road too, and didn't have the opportunity with Cindric being in front of him. We'll see what he does here. I bet he tries it. Carrying pretty good speed. See the billboards on the outside? We always use those as references, and then you'll have 3 marks on the inside down to the gearbox. Second gear, 4,200. That was just memory from back in the day. Still pretty close, isn't it?
All right, for those of you watching on YouTube, coverage continues on Prime Video. Qualifying will get underway shortly.
In the movie of your life, you're the director. You write the script, thank you, and call the shots. You keep the story moving along. Hey, boom's in. Until one day, your doctor says, you have chronic lymphocytic leukemia. That wasn't part of the story. For CLL, my doctor recommended Calquence.
Calquence is the first and only BTKI to offer 2 approved all-oral chemo-free options, ongoing treatment with Calquence, or fixed-duration treatment when combined with venetoclax. Calquence can cause serious side effects which may lead to death. This includes serious infections, bleeding problems that may increase with blood thinners, decreased blood counts, new cancers including skin cancers, heart rhythm problems, and liver problems. Tell your doctor right away if you have flu-like symptoms, blood in stool or urine, fast or irregular heartbeat, dizziness, feeling faint, chest discomfort, shortness of breath, stomach pain, dark urine, or yellowing skin. Calquence may harm an unborn baby. Ask your doctor about pregnancy and breastfeeding. These are not all the side effects. Use sun protection.
And action.
Ask your doctor about Calquence. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Holy smokes! You don't look so good, boss.
Tell me about it. It's a real inferno down here, and I'm burnt out.
Here, try a Red Bull. It's devilishly good.
Red Bull? Oh, that tastes heavenly. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Wings? Wings? I can't have wings. Not in my position.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Ooh, that's rough. At least with Safe Light, you can get that fixed any way you want. Any way I want.
I can schedule a chip fix while I get my hair clipped?
Yep.
They can fix my glass while we fish for bass.
If you want.
They can recalibrate my safety features while I sit at home in my comfy pants?
That one doesn't rhyme, but sure.
Get it fixed any way you want at safelight.com.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Don't mind if I do.
Don't worry, Brad. The half car's in good hands.
Nice ride.
Thanks. I stole it.
Get unlimited everything for just $35. Call or visit Consumer Cellular.
This is NASCAR on Prime.
Little Hendrick Motorsports Conference going on. Both of those drivers up in the top half of the speed chart. Regan.
Well, Mike, Kyle Larson taking a little break here before you get ready for your qualifying lap. We talked to your teammate William Byron, was really pleased with his car. So how's this 5 car?
Yeah, he was really strong lap time wise, and had a bit more confidence, it looked like, to drive in the corner than I did. I was just a little too tight loading into 1 and 2 there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to mentally get myself right here this qualifying session to drive in the corner with the speed and angle and all that you need to try and qualify well. It stinks we're going out early, but hopefully if I put it together, we can end up okay. So we'll see. But overall, I think we're close, and I think William and Chase are really good. So we have some good notes to look at, and I'll study myself and hopefully be good for tomorrow.
All right, Larry, not normally we see the 5 car go out this early in qualifying, but he might give these guys a rabbit to chase after.
Well, Regan, I'm here with Austin Cindric. 27 laps of practice. You are the fastest Ford driver. I did see a lot of changes throughout that practice on your 2 car.
Yeah, we don't normally try and do that much, but I felt like we had more to gain there with the Freightliner Ford Mustang, and there not being a ton of fall off here, I think it's a good opportunity to do it. We also had to replace a plug wire there for the end, so we were barely able to get back out for the last little bit there. So hoping, fingers crossed, everything's good with under the hood. But no, I appreciate everyone's hard work, and this qualifying lap will be a big step up in speed. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, Mike, I think that's a big storyline. We've well documented Joey Logano's last win 1 year ago. That's the last time a Ford driver won at a 1.5 mile intermediate.
Wow. Thanks, Larry. In practice, Byron the fastest Chevy, Corey Heim the quickest Toyota, and Austin Cindric the fastest Ford.
This is Arby's pulled pork and chopped brisket. This is the juicy result of slow smoking meat for up to 13 hours. And this is you forgetting time exists and getting lost in the sauce.
Arby's, we have the meat.
What causes a curve down there?
Is it Peyronie's disease?
Is there somebody I can talk to or help?
I got somebody for that.
I got somebody for that. I got somebody for that.
You guys got somebody for Peyronie's disease?
There's hope for the estimated 1 in 10 men who may have Peyronie's disease, or PD. A urology specialist who treats PD can help you create a plan, including non-surgical options. Find somebody today at gogetsomebody.com.
We know why you've put off your best smile. The time, the cost, the anxiety. That's why Aspen Dental is changing how dentistry is done, with technology to make care comfortable and flexible hours to fit your life, all at an affordable price. New patients without insurance get an exam and x-rays for just $29. Not waiting for tomorrow. That's the Aspen Dental difference. Aspen Dental. It's time to smile again.
Do kids want to grow tall to reach the pros? Or to reach a Reese's. Some might say that that is an unfair advantage. But I say, everything happens for a Reese's.
NASCAR fans, the time is now to turn your love of racing into free tickets, merchandise, VIP experiences, and much, much more. Rack up fan rewards points by watching races at home, playing fantasy, completing challenges, and visiting tracks. Then redeem your points for epic prizes. You are in the driver's seat. What are you waiting for? Sign up for the free NASCAR Fan Rewards loyalty program today at NASCAR.com/fan rewards.
NASCAR on Prime is back. You ready for this year? Light 'em up. Kicking it off with the Coca-Cola 600. It's go time. Woo-hoo! Nashville. Mighty fast in Michigan. Hell yeah. Pocono. Finishing huge in San Diego. A street course on a naval base?
This is going to be one loud party.
Stream all 5 Cup Series races. NASCAR. It's on Prime. Come on.
6 of the drivers in this weekend's race have at least one pole position at Texas, but none of them are among the favorites for the pole today. Qualifying starts next.
Racing isn't just a game. It's a way of life. Every lap, every moment. Practice is about consistency. Winning doesn't come easy.
Yo! My turn, Bubba.
Feel the road. Own the race. Logitech G wheels and pedals available now on Amazon.
Whether you're a professional technician or simply take pride in maintaining your own cars, Harbor Freight offers quality auto tools to meet your every need at prices that can't be beat. From rapid pump jacks to mechanics tool sets, whatever you need, we've got it. Whatever you do, do it for less. Harbor Freight, your automotive destination.
Austin, Texas.
Till the room comes off, till the lights go out, till my legs give out, can't shut my mouth. Till the room comes off, till the lights go out.
A legacy is a beautiful thing, but only if it survives.
I'm a rip it till my bone left.
At Napa, we know how to keep undercar under control. That's why our solutions are driven by 3 steps: stop, go, grow. Stop safety issues by checking systems before they become bigger problems. Go further with quality repairs that prevent costly comebacks. Then grow your business behind the parts, people, and expertise that keep your shop moving at full speed. That's Napa Know-How.
At Burger King, celebrities don't rule the menu. You do.
So tell us, what do you want?
I want a peppercorn BLT Whopper.
It's stacked with bacon, Swiss, and peppercorn aioli. Try the latest in the Whopper by You series today.
Welcome back to Cup Series qualifying on Prime. 38 cars. We do know that the 3 of Austin Dillon is changing an engine and will not qualify. And we're assuming that Bubba Wallace is damaged from hitting the wall in turn 2, what might also prevent him from taking a lap. Corey Heim rolls out first, making his 3rd start of the season in the Cup Series and his first at Texas.
I don't know what we're going to see here. A lot of good cars. Obviously, we talked about that because of Talladega and the chaos that ensued with that big wreck. But, I mean, Corey Heim right here. We know he's in a 2311 car. They've been really fast. First group, track's got to probably clean up. Getting hotter as we go, though. It can be all over the place as we go through this qualifying format.
I do know one thing. We're not breaking the track record today of 2687. That's the only thing we know.
Yeah, I'd say that's safe.
Yeah.
And I'd say we're likely to have a new pole winner. Active drivers here that have won poles: Keselowski, Blaney, Busch, Dillon, Larson, Wallace.
See that throttle right on the floorboard right there all the way through turns 3 and 4.
Picked up a 10.5 from his fast practice lap.
I like what you said, Kevin, and you're going to see that. That'll be consistent as we go through this practice session. It starts right here with Custer coming to the green. Get all the speed you can. This is a track where it's almost like a super speedway in the sense that you have to get more speed coming to the green. That's exactly what you see Cole Custer do. But my point is, turns 1 and 2 is where this pole is going to be won today.
Yeah, and you're going to have to put all that together. You're going to have to get off pit road to the green really good. But like you say, you're going to have to get through turns 1 and 2 correctly to win this pole. And Cole was just a little narrow. Got to the green better, got more speed into turn 1, little narrower than Corey Heim.
It's a very tricky corner. We talked about it earlier, not being able to pick up that apex, Mike. But it's also, you can underdrive it easy. You can overdrive it easy. If you miss that bottom, you completely waste your qualifying lap. You only get one chance at this.
Joey Logano, two-time Texas winner, defending champ of this race for Team Penske, 28.92 in practice.
And I'm glad we're on the ghost car. You see the momentum and the speed he carried through the center. Very easy to cut that entry off. That's going to make you tighter and be slower to the throttle, which is going to be important to the speed of your lap. And if you arc it too big and don't get it to the bottom, it'll blow the lap away too.
Yeah, and you got to have that arc though, because if you get to the bottom too early, it makes you tight off the exit of turn 2.
And that arc you speak of was better with Heim than it was Logano. Logano. There you go, P2 at a 61.
Josh Berry carrying the race title sponsor colors there for Worth in the Wood Brothers number 21. I don't think I've ever seen this car in black.
I was just getting ready to say, I like the look of that car all black.
All my race cars growing up are black and red. But you see, thing just did not, I think he probably cut the corner off a little bit, was a little bit nervous getting into the corner, and because of that was slower to the throttle and rotation. Heim beat him. That ghost car is going to be the tell-all sign on who arcs the corner and gets it to the bottom and who cuts that corner off at turn 1. 1 is where it's going to be made today.
Here's Chad Fincham back in the seat of the 66 for the second week in a row. He led his first Cup Series laps last week at Talladega, 8 of them. They're in stage 1.
Well, we're just getting a lap in here.
Yep.
We're going to try to do a little bit better work in the race. But obviously, the most important thing is just complete your lap here.
Keep the car in one piece.
That's right.
Picked up a few tenths from practice.
2 seconds off the pace. This will show you. Full commitment here.
Kyle Larson, 9th fastest in practice with a 28.80.
Yeah, and you heard him talk about everything is down here getting into turn 1 far enough. You see him deeper into turn 1, rolling faster to the center, but Corey Heim's going to be able to drive back up to him down the back straightaway.
He definitely drove it deeper into the corner.
He did exactly what he said he needed to do.
Full commitment. You knew it was going to be there. He's hungry. He's gotten close. He's tired of these Toyotas winning. I think Kyle Larson will have something for him. It's only going to be a matter of time. We're going to have to wait and see if this deficit of going out early is going to hurt Kyle Larson.
Well, Larson picked up 0.4 of a second from practice. Here's Michael McDowell, led 19 laps here last year, crashed while battling for the lead in the final 5 laps.
Spire's done a good job qualifying their race cars this year.
He got back to the throttle pretty good right there off the center of 1 and 2, but Larson just carried that car in so much faster and through the middle of the corner.
Paid a little bit of a penalty in the center, and honestly I thought he was going to be slower yet on the exit, but when he got back to the gas, he went wide open with it and it didn't hurt him as much as I thought.
McDowell picks up a 10th from practice. He is 3rd. Larson's lap already guarantees it that we will have the fastest pole speed of the year so far today. Now, Bubba Wallace did not come out for a qualifying run after getting into the wall in practice in turn 2. So here's Connor Zilic running double duty, his first time ever at Texas Motor Speedway.
Look at this, Clint. Great exit for Connor Zilic. We talked about the speed in this 88 car from practice.
But we also talked about Larson driving it in the corner really hard into turn 1, and I thought that he gave up a little bit in the center of the corner, slow to rotate, but
yeah, that's a great lap for Connor Zilic regardless.
And that showed up in practice too. He had speed in his race car in practice, a much better foot forward for the 88 car than Connor Zilic, rookie.
Well, here's the fastest driver in practice, William Byron, who has 4 top 10s in his last 5 starts here, including a win 3 years ago.
Well, it's been a few weeks since we've seen speed out of this 24 car. They've definitely brought it here this weekend, which is a good sign.
Always shows good discipline in a race car, and that's what I saw in 1 and 2. Easy in, hard off. Just kind of floated that thing in there, wrapped the bottom well, got to the throttle soon, but not quite enough to knock Larson off. Pretty tight lap times there. 41 on Larson, 46 at Byron in 3rd.
Regan?
Well, Mike, Denny Hamlin was the quickest of our Group 2 drivers, 7th overall in those practice sessions. Denny, looked like the 11 was really good, and anytime we come to the 1.5 miles, it seems like you're the benchmark. So, you going to be the benchmark in qualifying here in a minute?
I don't think in qualifying. I just don't think so. But you just never know. But you know, Austin will be back in the Progressive Toyota this weekend, and yeah, I mean it's in the ballpark, definitely in the ballpark, and. You know, the team was kind of letting me know where I needed to gain some time. I said, as long as I'm within 3/10, I'll figure out the rest on Sunday. So certainly feel like we got a car that can maneuver around and do the things it needs to. So we just got to qualify pretty decent here and then execute a great race.
All right, good luck in qualifying. Mike, he's looking for his 4th Texas win. 3 already, needs to get number 4 now.
Thanks, Regan. Brian Blaney will be next to go. And that'll happen in about a minute.
Yeah, as we get going here, Mike, let's talk about how important this launch is right here. You're able to go right up on the racetrack from qualifying trim, but it's a lot like a super speedway. You don't want to spin the rear tires too much, but you got to spin them a little bit in order to get that momentum and get the car launched off of pit road well. So right up through the gears, every driver and engine manufacturer have a certain RPM that they want you to shift each gear at. Don't hit the rev limiter. You got to get all you can get getting up to speed. So a lot of work from the driver's seat as to all the little details that go in with getting this car off of pit road.
Eric Jones strapped in and at the ready.
Saw him 6th overall in practice. Legacy cars haven't quite been up to speed with the rest of those Toyotas, but so far this weekend seemed like he unloaded quite well. All right, here's Blaney. You know he's going to give it his all. Walk me through this, Kevin.
Yep, you see that little bit of wheel spin right there. Don't want that thing to lug and have to almost stall it right there and then let it take back off again. You want to get that nice clean takeoff. Blaney did a good job. You see him at the top of the black right there, trying to make as much distance as he can to give that car as much time to get up to speed as possible around the racetrack coming to the green.
Get that baby wound up.
He chooses just a half a car length off the bottom. We've seen some of them up there on the dotted line, so we'll see if that makes a difference here coming to the green flag into turn 1.
29.02 in practice. He was 25th.
Yeah, he missed. He missed bad. His angle was too shallow getting in the corner and wound up taking off up the racetrack. Not going to be a good lap for Ryan Blaney.
Hard to tell. A lot of times when those angles are off and you're shallow getting in, you're loose in. That's the protector. If you're a little bit loose coming to the green, you have a tendency to tell yourself to shave the entrance of that corner off, and it'll make you tight in the center because of a loose end.
Yeah, not quite where he wanted to be at Kansas, and going to start in the back at this one.
Riley Herbst ran the most laps of anybody in practice after finishing 14th here last year. That ties him with Kansas this April for his best 1.5 mile track finish.
Yeah, you see him get back to the gas, but I think he's going to get, I I thought it was going to get tight up off the corner.
It did in the ghost car. Used all the real estate more than Larson. Larson kind of diamonded that corner a little bit. Drove it in hard. Paid a little bit of a penalty getting through the middle of the corner. As you've seen a lot of these guys take a swipe at him through the middle. But when he got back to that gas, he went wide open with it. Did not just feather it.
As Riley slots in 5th right there. And that's not uncommon with this car, Clint. Sometimes, most of the time, this car will you'll gain more lap time by driving the car further into the corner, slowing it down a little bit more than you need to through the center and able to get up off the corner wide open.
Now Herbst picked up a pretty incredible 3/4 of a second from his best practice lap. Here is Cody Ware. Ran over 100 laps in the top 10 at Talladega. That's more than double any other race in his Cup career. Ware was 26th in practice with a 29.08. And picks up more than 3/10 from that. Chase Briscoe.
Oh, and that's why
he hit that bump.
Yeah, you can't get too far up the racetrack right there, because the farther you go up the racetrack, the harder that thing hits the ground and it gets on those rear stops.
And look at the penalty he paid because of that big arc getting into the corner. It's going to come to him a little bit through the middle.
What an exit.
Easy in, hard off. Big arc. Here we go. Little bit of a penalty coming to the green, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's
He's
definitely
left any on the table. That's where it was.
There's definitely some meat left on that bone, but you see that big arc and how comfortable he was driving into the corner with that arc.
By a 10.
2830.
And that is 6/10 faster than he practiced.
Saw him sit on the pole a lot last year, and I talked to him actually last night at dinner, and he was telling me he'd been struggling in qualifying. He was going to write a report for his crew chief. Looks like that report must have had some good sauce in it.
It did. And you see right here, Ty Gibbs almost a whole car length shallower getting into turn 1 compared to Briscoe.
Just look at the difference, that big arc and the advantage that he got across the center and up off of the exit of turn 2. Everybody's going to go to work on that. Everybody can see this SMT data just like you can at home, and I'll put that into their lap later on.
Second for Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of cars that aren't going to be as comfortable getting into turn 1 as apparently what that 19 car is.
And what, I am glad you said that. And what is that comfort?
The grip.
Grip. That's exactly right.
John Hunter Nemechek has a truck win and 2 O'Reilly wins here. He finished 8th in this race last year.
When you make that big arc getting into this corner, you're doing 2 things. You're carrying a lot of speed, and then you're asking a lot out of the car, because to turn it back down the hill, you have to make it do something that it doesn't necessarily want to do. You have to pull on that wheel really hard and turn back across the racetrack, and ultimately it'll make that thing loose.
But it gets that apex further around the corner, and it lines that exit up to be able to get back in the throttle like Chase Briscoe did.
Makes that straightaway longer.
Brad Keselowski has 6 top 10s in his last 7 races here.
Good looking race car.
You like the orange or the black?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering.
I like the chrome number, and I like what RFK's been doing. But we've talked about this a lot this year, Kevin. When this car qualifies good, it runs up front and leads laps. When it doesn't, that has definitely been his Achilles heel. Takes him a while to dig himself back out of the hole, and kind of seeing that same thing again here in Texas.
Yeah, definitely the qualifying. If they could qualify better, they'd have a lot more top 5 finishes.
They spend all day working their way back into the backside of a top 10. They get there, but it takes them a long time because of the qualifying.
Here's Eric Jones, 4 top 5s at Texas, including a 5th last year. His average finish of 12th here is his best at any track that's currently on the schedule.
Yeah, and you see just how much that arc pays off on the exit of the corner, how much lower the 19 car is able to be at that point.
And when you're lower, that means you're not pulling on the wheel, you're not turning the car, you're full throttle, wide open, and not asking anything more than straightaway speed.
And Jones is 9th fastest. Larry Mack?
I'm here with Chase Elliott, going to go third from last in qualifying. 35 laps of practice, but what about this lap? The word seems to be commitment.
Definitely, commitment has got to be high, and all the paces in 1 and 2. You know, it seems like a lot of guys can get through 3 and 4 well. So, you know, the momentum you can create coming up to speed and how committed you are through 1 and 2 is kind of going to dictate your lap. So hopefully the old prime Chevy is in a good spot for me to be able to commit. I thought we had it pretty good in the closing laps of practice, but qualifying here is definitely different. And yeah, we'll see, but I think it's got potential in it, so we'll try to make the most of it.
Well, you touched on practice, and I mentioned it, 35 laps of practice. This place, this mile-and-a-half track, it's got a little bit of everything. What is the biggest challenge for you? What's the thing you need your 9 car to duplicate what you did 2 years ago?
Well, I think a lot of it for me is comfort on that end, you know, in the 1 and 2 end, and just being able to commit with comfort, or at least as much as you can get in it. And that part is never going to be perfect, and I think understanding that is important, right? You're never going to have all the comfort that you want, but, you know, getting it to a place where you can kind of take it the rest of the way and make the car do what it needs to do to get your angles right and all that for that end is really challenging. It's just so the way they, you know, when they took the banking out of the track and changed it up, it does not flow like other mile-and-a-halves do, and you have to kind of recalibrate your brain a little bit. So been a challenge, but we're going to try to take it on. We'll see what happens.
Well, Mike, we've been talking all week. Another big storyline. Where will this Camaro ZL1 body be as we run the 3rd mile-and-a-half race of 2026?
You bet, Larry.
Yeah, and I think the 3 of the 4 seem to be a little more in line this week with the 9, the 5, in the 24 of William Byron. The outlier of not running what we think they should run as a group is the 48 this week, kind of down on speed in practice. But we've seen that each week with some different, you know, 1 car kind of being the outlier, a couple weeks of 2 cars, but it looks like they've honed in on something a little bit better for all those cars this week from a speed standpoint.
So we pick back up with Shane Van Gisbergen. Austin Dillon, as we mentioned, will not qualify. They are changing an engine. Van Gisbergen making his 2nd Texas start. He was 22nd here last year.
He's actually really improved his qualifying efforts this year. We see his teammate Connor Zilich qualifying well, the 28.43, but Shane missed that entrance right there just a little bit too shallow and had to slow the car down too much. Don't know what they're fighting, but definitely not good for speed through that into the racetrack.
He'll be 15th for now at 28.73. Ty Dillon earned his best finish of the season at Talladega, 13th. He was a Texas best 12th here last year.
Yeah, and you know, I think this is a really hard conversation to have with your drivers sitting on pit road about what they need to do, because it's a little unorthodox from how Chase Briscoe got through turns 1 and 2 with how he backed that corner up and that huge arc, because we haven't seen anybody be able to duplicate it, but it's obviously way faster.
Well, it's the juice worth the squeeze, and you said it. If that car is making good grip, it gives you the confidence to make that big arc and pull that wheel down. But that thing, you heard Chase Elliott talk about it. We've been all over it. 1 and 2 is such a challenging. They took the banking away getting into the corner, then you kind of pick it up, and then the exit's kind of back flat. It's just a very unorthodox entry to that corner. And if you make that big arc and that thing doesn't answer the call when you pull on the wheel and comes out from underneath of you, or doesn't make the bottom tight, you blow your lap completely.
Well, exactly. Right here. It's on cue right here with A.J. Allmendinger. He didn't make it to the bottom of the racetrack at any point during the corner, and you see the penalty that he pays on exit.
That blind apex, if you will, not being able to see the center of the corner makes it so challenging as a race car driver. You can miss your marks very, very easy.
But the way that Briscoe drives the car, as Allmendinger goes 13th quick, the way that he drives the car right there isn't anything that you've done in practice in race trim.
And you also have been there. You can just slide into that perfect lap too. Sometimes that thing, it's like on the verge of coming around, but all of a sudden you look up and it's got you pointed straight for a perfect exit on the corner, and I feel like that's a lot of what you saw with Briscoe. I'm telling you, he left last night's dinner to go write a report on qualifying around this racetrack. I don't know what he wrote, but he must have listened to himself.
Well, they got to get it straight quick. And, you know, qualifying well and getting yourself at the front of these packs.
Ryan Preece is the fastest Ford at 28.55.
Puts you in a position to score stage points and all the things that go with track position. Good track position.
Noah Gragson next up. Finished a season best 9th at Talladega. Has an O'Reilly Series win here a couple of years ago.
You think he was writing a report last night, Clint?
Was he out with you and Rusty?
He was.
Oh, boy.
He was at dinner with us. You know, this kid's unique. Another one, kind of like Hocevar, beating to his own drum. Really funny. But he is smart. He's a smart kid. Full of energy and enthusiasm. Need to get some more consistent results. But I think he's capable of getting the job done. I really do. I think we have to find consistency with this number 4 car and in his Cup opportunity, but we've seen him be able to produce results before in the O'Reilly Series, and I think he can get the job done behind this car too.
I agree. He is really serious about his racing, but his public persona is of a guy who likes to have fun.
Yeah, definitely shows you otherwise.
Yeah. Reminds me of somebody.
Sometimes you miss the mark there. Sometimes you hit it.
You said it, not me.
The damn thing moves.
16th for Gragson, 28.69. Kyle Busch, 41st birthday, new crew chief, Andy Street and RCR. Finally got his first top 10 of the season last week at Talladega. 4-time Cup winner here. 4 of his 20 Texas victories have come in the Cup Series.
Great job getting to the green for Kyle Busch right here. He's actually held his own pretty good.
You see it a little tight on the exit, slow to the throttle in the center, but great job coming to the green. It's going to stay low down here, trying to get the most out of 3 and 4. These are all things. You talk about a report and doing everything you can do behind the wheel. Kyle Busch just put it all together there. That's a great lap for him. That car wasn't necessarily good enough to roll the middle, and he made that thing work. He did a good job coming to the green. He did his job hitting his marks.
And he is now the fastest Chevrolet as Christopher Bell goes on the clock. 3 top 5s and 7 Texas starts.
Well, you can tell that they at least had a conversation about what Chase Briscoe did, because he mimicked it as good as anybody.
Let's go back to why you see people beating him to the green, and I'm talking about Briscoe. Don't forget he got loose.
That's right.
You said it. There's a little more meat in the bone there, boys.
Yeah, and it was a big wiggle for Chase Briscoe. It was a good lap for Christopher Bell right here.
He's going to be hard to beat tomorrow.
3rd for Bell. He's never won here. Tomorrow could be the day. Todd Gilliland. He has gained 8 spots in the standings in the last 5 races. Finished 11th here last year.
Kid just stays quiet, doesn't ruffle any feathers, does a good job of being consistent and getting the most out of the weekend. Not a lot of mistakes made. Cuts corner off there. That may have been a mistake. Paid the price on the exit.
Yeah, when those cars cross paths at the late exit part of the corner, you're in trouble.
A little too shallow getting in. That's the one you want back. That's what's the challenge of 1 lap qualifying at a track like Texas with the speed that we carry here.
Well, looks like he'll start back there with Ryan Blaney.
That'd be a good one to follow up through the field. Here's a good qualifier. These Spire cars have been fast. Suarez been leading that charge.
Daniel Suarez, 4 top 10s in his last 5 Texas starts, including the last 3 in a row. Wow.
There it is.
Yeah, we were worried about the bottom of this car getting damaged, dragging dragging itself in, but definitely didn't seem to hurt it right here in qualifying trim. Great lap by Suarez.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
He'll go down and drag them all down there. Top of the board for Daniel Suarez, 28-22.
And that's exactly what we've seen out of that 7 car and Spire Motorsports this year in qualifying.
Next up is Alex Bowman, who finished 3rd at Talladega, his best finish since Richmond last August.
See another car, and we thought Suarez got to the green pretty good, but
he didn't get to the bottom.
Yeah,
missed the bottom.
Never got there.
It's about a foot off the bottom. And a foot in this world, I mean, that's a mile. It's going to be decent, but he'd like to relive that one, have that lap back, one more opportunity.
Fifth for Bowman. That's a huge pickup from practice where he was 33rd with a 29.19. That's almost 0.6 of a second. Well done.
You've fought against the odds in every inch of every race with endless determination and grit. All of your hard work and dedication have brought you to where you are today. Keep moving forward. Talk to your doctor about Brestree, 3 medicines in 1 inhaler. Learn more at brestree.com.
For the big, small, short, tall. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
What makes an experience an experience? When race days become race weekends, and race weekends become full throttle memories.
To the tracker, baby! Yeah, let's go!
So pull up in your camper, pick your favorite spot, first race or 50th season.
You did just win again. Oh my God!
A community that lives loud, loves hard, and celebrates every damn second.
Hell yeah, boys!
Hold on a second, I got something.
Ain't that the truth?
You can't actually be surprised.
This is amazing.
So dope.
Now you know that ain't no figure of speech, right?
You may be right.
I'm always bloody wrong.
No, that's my number 3 Billy Joel song.
Oh, knock it off.
Nine drivers to go in Cup qualifying, and with Suarez at the top of the board, none of these 9 have ever won a pole here, so we're going to have a first-time pole winner.
Well, that's great. I like that. A lot of firsts this year. But I think, you know, that 7 car of Suarez has been a pleasant surprise this year, and they continue that trend with this lap in qualifying, regardless of how many beat them here at the end. They're going to have a great starting position.
Absolutely. Ricky Stenhouse, top 10 in 2 of the last 3 races here, including Texas best 6th for him last year.
Ricky right in the middle of everything last week at Talladega. Woo, man. That is, you're getting brave when you get that high up on the racetrack and these cars are pulled down like that. In qualifying trim, didn't hurt him too bad, but makes me uncomfortable just sitting here. You know, we see that Stenhouse has fallen back a little bit through 1 and 2, and let's not forget Carson Hocevar qualified on the pole here last year. So those Spire cars.
Whose teammate is he?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is not a, as we see Stenhouse 15th right there.
Where'd he finish last week?
Well, I'm just saying it's not a surprise, and you have the momentum, but this isn't something that started right now. This started last year here with Hocevar qualifying on the pole.
Denny Hamlin was 7th in practice. He's a 3-time Texas winner. He's won 2 of our last 3 races on 1.5-mile tracks.
Almost the exact width difference that he was shallow getting into 1 as how much higher he was on the exit at 2.
And you could just tell talking to Denny that he didn't think that they had a chance to qualify on this pole.
He was about a foot under that 7 car getting into turn 1 and about a foot wider than him on the exit of turn 2.
Well, he might end up on the front row. 28:30 for Hamlin.
Great lap.
Dangerous to put that car that close to the front.
Austin Cindric, 3 top 10s in our last 5 races. Logano and Berry down in 17th and 18th, and Blaney at the 25th.
Just slow to rotate and get back to the throttle.
And that's been the complaint with these Fords, is getting that car to turn to and through the center of the corner.
And if you're sitting at home, Kevin, why is that? It's just lack of grip. The thing just won't quite do what you need it to do to be able to pull on the wheel, make the corner, and mash that gas.
Yeah, and
not quite enough grip.
To me, it sounds like the same type of issue that we had with our Ford when I started driving the Gen 7 car. They just haven't corrected it.
Cindric is the fastest Ford so far. Here's Ross Chastain, runner-up in 2 of the last 3 Texas races.
Well, he's got teammates on both sides of the grid right here, so it'll be interesting to see where this one car falls. You see him way up the racetrack.
Drove it in really hard, paid the price in the middle.
Yeah, and that's that balance that you were talking about earlier, Clint. Do I want to be a hero and try to go for the pole and then have something like this happen where you completely miss the bottom, or do I want to go in there and be conservative and get a good qualifying spot? But
overconfident getting in is going to cost him a little bit. 12th on the board, Ross Chastain.
His teammates are 9th and 26th, as you said, so there's Chastain 12th. Here's your point leader, Tyler Reddick, 3 top 5s at Texas with a win here 4 years ago.
Really fast on a long run in practice, top of the board in 20 lap averages. Boy, confidence is not lacking here. Drove it off in the corner, missed the bottom though.
Same thing as Chastain, just got in there too hot up the racetrack, never got to the bottom to get that pointed up off the corner.
Didn't pay quite the penalty that Ross Chastain did.
6th for Reddick, 28:35. 4 drivers to go. 2 Fords and 2 Chevys. So that means Hamlin will be the fastest Toyota as Dane Smith rolls. Finished a season best 5th at Talladega, his 3rd top 10 this year.
Well, Zane, he's done a good job the last couple of years of just getting himself in a position to where he can take advantage of days where see him struggling right there through the